do it.
Now it's time.
You're right.
Hey,
it's time, Chris.
It's time.
It's another Wednesday.
I'm always waiting for more. It's like, now it's time, and then we go.
We go. We just go. Just jump in. It's gonna be a barn burner this evening. We already got people in the chat this evening. We're excited to bring you this week's show.
Hey,
we got a legend on the show this evening, man.
Yeah, we're
as Chat GP says. He's a digital media powerhouse, and if you go and see his subscribers, yeah, they're not wrong.
Well, shoot, and the content he's putting out is awesome too.
He's got the morning. He's got the news show, man. He looked like Ron Burgundy the other week.
I saw that.
Fucking that was fire. We're ready. I hope you guys are ready. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Get your drinks out. Let's go. We're here each and every week, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. You can find us on Twitch, Facebook, and on YouTube. If you guys miss us live, you can catch the replay over on YouTube and also on your favorite podcast outlets, too. You guys get ready for another great show this evening. We're coming to you live from the wonderful studio here, the Ethan Clark Studios. They're going to have their annual golf tournament for Ethan coming up soon, so we'll be sharing details on that. Our studio is brought to you by the good people at Motor City Harley-Davidson. Second week in a row. Got to go hang out with Nick.
Oh, you've been over there twice now?
Yeah.
I got to get over there.
I might have eyed a motorcycle out that I'm never going to get.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to have goals, man.
It is good to have a goal you're never going to reach.
Hey, well, you never know.
I can just window shop them.
That's fun, too. Hey, I saw they're having an event over there. It's called Pimp My Ride. So you can go there and find all the accessories to pimp out your Harley. I thought that was kind of cool. I think it's Saturday.
They got them assless chaps for you already. No. Hey, but they do have the WTF going on over there. Willing to finance sale.
Okay.
Yep. They got a willing to finance sale going on. Any pre-owned, no payments till fall on new Harleys, if that's your choice. Chris and I are here at the Getaware News Desk. Got big things happening, always going on. It's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
We don't really have much news this week. The USA BMX website went down or something? Is that big news in the racing world? I can't keep up.
Yeah. You know what? The other thing, they just did a thing. I guess they've changed the saver stamps.
Hey, get more money now.
Get more stamps now at your national events.
Like $20 you win a national.
25, I think, for
God
first.
Damn, look at you knowing all. You're the only one that wins a national, so you're the only one that knows. Our show doesn't happen without the following people supporting our show and helping being partners here at the All Things BMX Show. Our good friends over at Krupp & Carter. Did you see that box upstairs when you came in?
No.
It's as big as the one we picked up from Motor City.
Nice.
Yep.
All right.
Krupp Carter coming through big time. Yeah, they shipped up another box for us. More trivia, swag to give away. If your company wants to partner with us, just let us know. Message us on Facebook, and we'll get back to you or send an info at All Things BMX Show. Our good friends over at Krupp & Carter, they're official BMX brand made by BMXers for BMXers. They are the lifestyle brand. And if you're doing big bikes, you're doing trails, you're doing racing, that's the brand you want to have. Make sure you guys check them out at the KNC Clothing. You can find them online at all their favorite websites and social media. Chris?
There we go. So other people we're working with are on two wheels. So if you're at your next national event, you need parts, you need a tube, whatever, go see Jeremy over at On Two Wheels. Tell him All Things BMX Show sent you.
That's right. And also our good friends at the Hack Shack. You're looking to get one of those side hacks done. We're going to talk a little bit about that with our guest this evening. Make sure you hit up Mike Melvin to order your own side hack bike right now.
Yes. Got to get that done for Dirty Fest or, so you can take part in that.
Yeah.
Or, if you got one of those tandem torquer bikes, you need a side hack for that.
Oh, dude, you could do the triple banger right there.
That's what we're talking about. Hey, Wrenchman Wheel Builders. He's the guy that built my wheels for me. He does a great job. If you get a hold of them, use our discount code BRODEAL, and they will give you a free high five.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we got them in the swag bag this evening for the trivia. We're going to be giving away some stuff from them. You guys don't forget about Dye Job Apparel. Dye Job Apparel brings the trivia each and every week, and also they are the place to go if you want to get your branded. If you've got a team, you've got a show, you've got
jerseys,
whatever, man. He does jerseys, custom apparel, you name it. He can print on it, man. Just that's the short end, right?
Yeah, if you want your logo on something, glasses, shot
made
glasses,
our whiskey glasses
mugs,
back here. Yeah,
Yeti cups, whatever it be. Sean can do that for you.
Yeah, make sure you guys check him out. And last but definitely not least,
yes, DB Sports World
coming out of New York for you over there,
upstate New York. He's your one-stop shop for anything BMX. So talk to Dave over there at DB Sports World.
And all the links for our partners are going to be in the show notes. You guys can find all that stuff right at the bottom after the show is done. This week, our guest is coming to you from...
We forgot Danger Snacks.
That's your read right now. That was I kind of did the thing to.
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, Chris, we were doing so
we
good.
Were
you
rolling
the
there for a minute,
gate.
and I broke it all up. Danger Snacks brings you our guest this week. Danger Snacks is the snack that is the difference between draggin ass and haulin ass.
You read the X-rated version, dude.
I know.
What's the discount there, bro?
The discount is bro deal.
See what happens when you get
there.
Brent on the TV on the episode here. You start cussing, man. That shit's off the rails.
Sorry, but it's one of the sponsors of the show. So
the show's chat this evening is brought to you by our good friends at BMX Rocks Photography. We got a good question for you. What's your favorite indoor bike park to ride? You got one, Chris?
Well, mine would be the go-to one. I get Ray's Indoor Bike Park.
There you go. I'll second that.
That's the only one I've actually been to and ridden on.
You rode Vert Village, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't exist anymore.
It still counts, bro.
That was a fun place.
They got to have a tie between the original Chango World and Ray's.
Okay. No. Vert Village in Lake Orion, Michigan was a cool place. They actually had a 4-person starting gate in there and the ramps and the whole deal. It was fun.
We're going to ask our guest, what's your favorite bike park to ride, indoor bike park?
Oh, as if it wasn't obvious enough. It has to be a Ray's Indoor Mountain Bike Park. I mean, there's no competition even remotely close.
Yeah.
Have you been to Joyride?
No.
I wonder. I got a couple of buddies that went there, but they still said Ray's was the place.
I've heard the same. And I just want to say real quick, you guys are official. This whole intro, everything you guys just did, man. I'm sitting here like, man, I need to up my game.
I don't think you do, dude. We can just look at subscribers, homie.
Yeah.
But that's still.
Yeah. Actually.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Help us out. Like and subscribe, please.
Oh, wait. We got these. We got these things. Remember we did those? We made them.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
really?
man.
We got to go full.
You can see them. They're up there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can see them.
Yeah.
See? Professional.
I can teach you that. That's pretty easy. I steal them things offline.
Yeah.
I use that AI stuff, man. Makes life easy.
AI.
Let's welcome to the show our guest.
So, Brant, welcome in. Let's start out with, how did you find out about the sport of BMX?
So I'm going to try and tell this in the shortest way possible because honestly, I don't fully remember like my origin story from the very beginning, because I have memories of modding like 10-speed 20-inch mountain bikes to be a single speed bike and just trying to jump it off a little dirt mound in the backyard and stuff like that. But like, I didn't know what BMX was at that time. It was just what we were doing.
About how old were you at this point?
Oh, man. Honestly, I don't even know. I was 13 when I first like officially started riding. So probably 11, 12 maybe.
Okay. That'll work.
I would say 11. It had to have been a bit before that. But I first went to a skate park and actually discovered BMX and saw people for real riding for the first time ever when I was 13. We showed up at the skate park. I had a Pacific Walmart bike that my dad bought at a swap meet. We saw it at a swap meet, and my dad just, I don't know. I don't remember what prompted him to want to get it, but talked the dude down, bought it for $50, then took that to the skate park for the first time, where I saw all of the people who became my heroes riding. And I've told this story so many times, but we rode from the skate park downtown about a quarter to a half mile up the street to the local bike shop. And it just so happened that my older sister's her best friend's husband was the one who ran this bike shop, and my dad, being a car mechanic, did work for this guy who owned this bike shop. So we're looking around, just admiring all of the stuff in the bike shop, being in there for the first time ever. And he tells me to call my dad or parents and have them come in. and sort of just looking around. And I guess my parents just did it. I don't think this was pre-planned because it happened very out of the blue. And then they showed up and we're looking at bikes and whatever. And then how many minutes later, I'm riding back to the skate park on a brand new Fit Complete.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So go back to the skate park, ride for a bit. I remember I was dropping in and hitting the spine and all of that good stuff. And that would have been summer of 2006.
Nice.
Wow. Shoot.
Good stuff. Started on the Fit, and now you're, well, recent for a lot of people that watch our show. You're now riding on for S&M, correct?
And Fit, yeah.
Yeah, both. Right. That's good.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. You want to run down, plug who supports your show and supports you and your sponsors?
I see you guys were listing your sponsors off, and I was like, "Damn, I need to get some sponsors."
It's all right,
for
dude.
My show.
It's all right. We got a list, so like it's not like we do that all from memory.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, man, I need to get some people who support my shows because I've got nobody yet. But
well,
people who support me directly,
Yeah.
I've been working with Park Tool for years now. Nowhere BMX is over 10 years at this point, which is insane to say.
Right.
Alienation is 10 years this year, I think. There's a local bike shop that I work with called Brimstone Bicycles. And then I've been lately working with a company called On It. They do supplements and things like that. I always like to grab it because genuinely this stuff is like legit. Oh, it's not even going to show.
There you go.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh man, you guys.
Do you take the Alpha Brain stuff from them?
Yeah, right here. I got the Alpha. Actually, I meant to take some of this. I'm going to take it right now.
Look at that plug, ladies and gentlemen. See how a pro does this?
This is me like, I need this Alpha Brain right now for this conversation, so I'm going to make sure I talk about it. Also, been working with Shadow Riding Gear. They make the helmets, the pads, and stuff that I wear.
Yeah.
Jaywalkers apparel. I don't know if you guys in the racing world have learned about Jaywalkers yet, but they make these super stretchy pants that are super comfortable, and you can take off and put on your pads without taking your pants off. It's just convenient. Yeah,
that would be nice. Not have to take your pants off when you're putting your pads on.
Oh, it's the best. Seriously.
I actually have a pair sitting in the cart that I never checked out on.
Uh-oh.
Kyle sent
Use the code BMX, man. It'll save you 15%.
God damn it, I got to write that down.
What was it?
Code BMX.
Just BMX.
Yeah.
Jaywalkers pants. They do race stuff or just
no, they're like
street?
jeans that are real stretchy and they look like any whatever. They're
you could use them for anything, actually. I got a pair right here because I put my comfy pajama pants on for this. They're just super stretchy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to catch so much crap for shilling everything. But you guys asked. I mean,
hey,
you're good.
That's part of the deal, man. You got people that are helping you out, supporting you. You gotta get their name out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you're getting already a lot of comments in there. And for those tuning into the show for the first time, we do a little comment check-in here in a little while. So if you got questions, put them in there, and we'll get them relayed over and ask them as we're going along. That's what we like to do here. So you've had sponsors for 10 years. So you've been riding for a minute. When did the show start officially for you?
Which show? I've done a lot of shows, and I do a lot of different things.
You're like what we're doing right now, what you're doing on YouTube.
Like your YouTube.
My whole YouTube channel started so I've been uploading to YouTube since 2006. My very first upload was December 2006. And then I uploaded consistently throughout that time, leading up to starting a new fresh YouTube channel in July of 2015, which is my current YouTube channel. So going on 10 years for that as well here in July.
Congrats. Yeah. So you've been grinding, man.
Yeah, it's a grind set. I heard that recently and I was like, oh, I like that. I'm stealing that.
Damn. I was like, shit. What are we doing? 5 years? It's like half of what he's done, dude.
Yep.
Gotta step our game up here.
We need to get moving.
How do you keep it? How do you keep yourself keep it fresh, keep it exciting for you?
Well, BMX is legitimately my entire life. Like my entire life has always revolved around BMX from the time that I started riding. So because I started making videos when I was 13 years old, when I started riding, I started making videos pretty much.
Okay.
So it's just been a part of who I am since I started, and that's what makes it so easy to keep doing it. And then you pair that with a realization that human memory is horrible. And I realized really young that if I just filmed a lot of stuff, I wouldn't have to rely on remembering it because I would just have the videos. So that kind of led into a lot of the other stuff that I do where I've, captured jams and events and talk about current things going on in BMX and highlight people just to have this memory that is something you can go back and look at rather than just let fade away.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. All these shows now, they're kind of archived on YouTube, well, and Facebook or whatever as well, but mainly YouTube. So you can go back and look at them. They're kind of there until YouTube is no more, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but.
How do you find your guests?
Honestly, I had been doing podcasts for years before I ever even called it a podcast.
Yeah.
And so it was people I was just interested in talking to at any given time. And then I called it the More BMX Podcast. I gave it a name. I actually started calling it a podcast officially. And that gave me some motivation to just try and talk to everyone that I could who was company owner, influential in the industry, whatever it might be. And then I did that at a time where podcasts and BMX had risen at a peak, and then they kind of started to fall off. And that's whenever I decided that I wanted to call it a podcast and really leaned into it, because naturally I have this thing where I feel a responsibility of if the answer to a question is, if I don't do it, who will? If the answer is no one, then I'm going to do it most likely. And, so I started doing just as many as I could. There were some weeks, because I did everything live, or I used to do everything live, where I did 4 or 5 podcasts back to back in a week live every single evening. And it was purely just based on, I want to talk to this person. I want to talk to this person. And lately I haven't done them as frequently because I feel like there's a lot of people doing BMX podcasts again. So I don't feel as much of a responsibility, and I got super burnt out towards the end of last year. And I'm to the point now where it's if I don't hear a name or learn about somebody and go, I want to talk to that person, then I'm just not going to. That's my motivation, is like the Eddie Roman thing that just recently stirred up. Meeting him this past weekend, I'm like, I would really love to do a podcast with him. So that's how that kind of comes up.
Yeah, that was cool, since you had just recently posted that whole do we want to go there yet?
Yeah, we'll wait.
This is your show.
We'll go there. Man. We'll go there in a little bit.
Because it's no, man. BMX is dead, right? And
okay, we're going there.
It's funny.
Wait, I got the perfect thing for this.
Bring it up. Let me put you full screen for
Hang
a
on
second.
just a second.
There you go. Put that up there. Perfect. But because this is being screamed from the mountaintops, even in racing, right?
Boy,
before I go any farther, did you ever do any racing?
No.
Okay. All right. Just want to. That'll be one of those questions. That'll be
4 times.
You never asked him. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, we asked him.
Yeah. Well,
I've thought about it, but I haven't.
Well, we kind of knew that because, I assume you. I watched the Bill Ryan interview, and you basically said there, I really don't know a thing or two about racing. I'm all about the freestyle side of it. So, which is all cool with us. We don't care. That's why we're all things BMX.
To what we were talking about, the BMX is dying, dead, whatever. That's it's the industries go hand in hand, right? So, you're seeing it like on the freestyle side. We hear it over here too, because we interview just like you, like a lot of the industry people, right? Within race, we do it on the racing side. You're on the freestyle side. What are some of the things that you're hearing consistently, like over on kind of that freestyle side, that's leading to where they're screaming it's dead?
Honestly, it's the people who are talking about BMX being dead are the people who either are, and I don't even think the people who work at companies or run companies are the ones saying it's dead. They're saying, it's struggling, but I haven't heard them like specifically calling out that it's dead. The main people who are saying BMX is dead are like casual BMX riders who don't actively, like, they aren't ingrained in fully embracing the lifestyle of BMX. They just are like passers-by a little bit, and they see and hear things here and there, and then just say that it's dead from it. Yeah. So I think that's mostly the way that I hear it. But I mean, you hear that the industry is struggling from just about everybody who works in it. But then at the same time, you hear that a lot of industries in the entire world are struggling, not just cycling. And
correct.
And so it's not just BMX. That's a funny picture. There's a funny story behind that picture. I was driving back from Nebraska, and then my best friend, who I grew up in high school with, we rode BMX. He was on his way back from a motocross race, and we passed each other on the highway.
Just total coincidence?
Yeah, had no idea.
Great.
I looked over and I was like, I know that guy, and it was his dad. And then the guy who was driving, like, slow down, hold on, I gotta take his picture. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
I went through your social and just tossed some pictures in here to scroll through.
Throw them in there. Yeah. So I guess what people don't understand is, well, if they watch your interview with Eddie Roman, they'll understand better the BMX is dead post that you put up. Yeah. But so you need to go check that out, people, because I think, like you said in that interview, you posted that and people started freaking out and they're going, it's not dead, and blah 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 blah, and you stirred up a whole thing that they don't realize is all that wording right there.
That wording right there
is from 1992.
Yeah, all these people who, it's missing the giant BMX is dead at the top of it, which is what caught everybody's eye, and I don't think anybody read past before they started leaving comments. Yeah. So there it is. Yeah. And I tell the whole story behind that post in the video that you're talking about with
go to Brent's YouTube, Brant Moore YouTube. Was it Brant Moore BMX, I believe, right?
Right.
Yeah, there. And check out his so go check out his YouTube, and you can get the full story on
and
that.
I just threw the link in, FYI, to that
in
that video
chat.
too. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so so you got some people fired up with that one, didn't you?
And it's so funny. So I'm not going to rehash everything I've already said.
Right. No.
It's so funny to me how many people it got talking about how not dead BMX is, which was the entire point of all of it. But then I post the follow-up, like, recap, quick teaser thing on my Instagram with Eddie Roman holding his phone up with that post on it as like the cover photo, and that doesn't get hardly anybody paying attention to it, or nobody really shared or talked about it or anything, which is exactly what I knew would happen if I did something similar with the first post. I knew from the beginning that if I just posted the video with no words on, like just the video itself, and everyone have to read the words as they showed up on screen, and I post some cute caption with it that was whatever. I knew it wouldn't get any kind of attention at all. So it was orchestrated from the start to get people to talk about how alive BMX actually is.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it definitely is.
It's still alive and kicking, you know. And I think back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, where you get the people that say it's dead. Another group of people that say that a lot from the racing side are your old school riders that raced back in the day. They don't ride now, but maybe they have that classic old school bike they had when they were a kid, and they're like, BMX racing is not BMX, you know, let's make BMX again and all this stuff. It's like, well, dude, you don't play football's not played the same way it was 30 years ago. They use a different ball now. They have different turf. They have different helmets. They have different, it all evolves. So you can't stay back in, yes, the 80s I raced in the 80s. It was awesome. It was so cool. The bikes are awesome, yes. But you can't say today's racing is not better or worse than it was back then. It's different. It's just not the same. And I have to assume, again, this would be your area, not mine. The park riding freestyle has evolved and changed since the 80s as well. You know, the equipment's different, all that stuff. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a perspective on this one too, in that we all have an affinity for the era of BMX that we grew up in, whether it's the 80s, 90s, whatever it is. Everybody is more fond of the time period when they were coming up riding BMX, or they have this era from their time that they love the most. And what I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about or realize is that for the kids that are riding today, right now is that era for them. And 20 years from now, they're probably going to talk about right now or a certain other time period of coming up other than the present moment in time as being better than whatever it is when they're actually saying that. And I think it's just important that, like, BMX is what you make it at any given time. And I'm right there with you. You could say whatever people say, like the mid 2000s is the best era, the golden era of BMX. And it's like, well, if that's the golden era of BMX for you, then just keep riding like it's the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Keep them narrow bars and big seats on there.
There you go.
Hey,
to
each their own, right?
We had a guest on the other week that was, he worked at Fox and then to DC in that era, that mid era there of the 2000s, and that was a big era where I didn't do much racing, and I was doing more of the park riding and stuff like that. So there's a fond connection there, like you're saying. However, the stuff I see now, like when I turn your channel on, or I watch the Triple Crown events at the Supercross races, holy shit. Has the game changed?
Yeah.
I mean, it's and exactly, like I know that era when I started racing is different from the era when I was riding more of the park stuff. So I have that affinity too. But man, wow, is it amazing? Because I remember the first few X Games, watching those, but now to watch the coverage and all the different angles and this kind of stuff, it's great. And seeing the stuff you guys are doing, yourself included, your riding is amazing. Unreal, like unreal. I just watched the contest from the past weekend at the Supercross race, and I couldn't do that shit in video games. It's wild. The level it's at right now, the riding is out of control.
Yeah.
One, thank you for the kind words about my riding. It's funny you mentioned video games, because I was going to bring up that it kind of feels like the way people talk about video game graphics. Like if you remember when the PS2 came out and you're like, oh my gosh, these graphics are so good.
Yep.
And then after that, like the every new iteration of the console comes out and you're just like, oh my gosh, these graphics. And now we're at a time where graphics are getting to the point where you can almost not distinguish them from real video that's shot. And it's funny because it's probably a similar thing with that in BMX and in all other action sports that have progressed over time, and that you have your baseline that is what is the best, and that the riding level increases with that over time. But BMX, I feel like the riding in BMX has never been better ever before. Like there's more access, there's more amazing riders than ever before. We can see them anywhere we want to on the internet, easier and more often than ever before. Like the actual act of BMX riding is the best it's ever been, regardless of whatever the industry is doing.
Agreed.
Sure.
Who's your favorite riders?
So remember how I talked about how I went to the skate park on a Pacific?
Yeah.
First time
right.
ever. My favorite rider is and always has been a guy named Sponge, who's local to me here, who he's just, I always say he's the best rider in the universe. That's who I've always looked up to, still to this day look up to. It's somebody that only people who live in Ohio or have seen certain videos of mine would even know who he is. But that's the number one on my list, honestly.
Nice. We got some comments coming in. You got some of your friends in here commenting on how they found you on streaming, playing BMX video games, which is pretty.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
interesting.
I did do that. I streamed for a whole 3 people like every night just because I didn't have anything else to do. And I would just stream. I even used to stream like Call of Duty and stuff on my channel.
What on? Well, now it's all on Twitch, right? All the gaming stuff's Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I was streaming it on my channel, Twitch was still a thing. It was just like, I'll just do it on YouTube.
Some guests that you've had. So you've been at it but 10 years, but still. So what's some of them like big guests that you've had that you had to take a moment and be like, wow, this is somebody I've got on the show that you maybe when you were doing it, have been doing it, you didn't really think you'd end up interviewing them?
There's a couple, actually.
Yeah.
So I had already been thinking about actually calling my podcast a podcast, and I had the name for it and everything.
Yeah.
And I was doing one with Chris Moeller, which was incredible to me. And while I was talking to him, I hadn't yet rebranded it or anything yet, but he's like, what do you call this thing? And I was like, I don't really have a name for it right now. And then he's suggested More BMX, which I was already going to rename it to. So I was like, that whole podcast was incredible. And that was when I flipped the switch in my head. And I was like, all right, I guess it's a podcast now. We're going to really try and do this. And at that time, I was doing a lot of BMX React videos where I would just watch whatever, if it was an old video, a new video. And one of the videos that I reacted to was the dirt finals from some contest in, I think, 2001. It might have been X Games. It might have been something else. But TJ Lavin won that. And in my React, I was talking about how TJ won it. And I was like, man, I'd love to do a podcast with TJ. And I'm not joking. Within an hour of that video going live, I have a comment from username on YouTube, TJ Lavin, whatever random numbers, like, if you're serious about that podcast, like, let's do it, whatever. And so I messaged him, and like, it was real. And we were doing the podcast within, I think, a week of that. And it was just,
that's awesome.
It was crazy.
That is awesome. Cause I got to say, we were able to have him on for about 20 minutes and a half hour.
I think it was like 28. He jumped in with his old team manager. So they kind of like a split show.
Yeah.
From Specialized. And for us, that was like
That was the most nervous I've ever been to do one of these shows. And like, oh my gosh, because he's like big time on MTV with the shows he does over there and stuff. And, Tracer Finn's like, hey, I can get TJ Lavin to come on here. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. So there was that one. I did one with Rick Thorne very shortly after that. And I didn't expect him to even see my message or reply, because I can remember playing Tony Hawk American Wasteland, and he's a character in that for the BMX thing. And it's just like, whoa, this is nuts. But then there's like, just more recently, talk about Eddie Roman again, in that I make that post, and then literally within 2 weeks, I'm talking with him on camera at Ray's in person about that post and his mindset when he was writing those words. And it's just, there's so many moments that just have felt like they're meant to be.
Well, shoot, that's how we got you on here. We asked our Facebook page, who do you want to see on the show? And we weren't getting a whole lot. So then I went, well, I got some people I'm going to just put on here, and I tagged you as one of them. And shoot, it wasn't the next day, or even you're like, let's do it.
Probably like 5 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, you're like, let's do it. Well, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see, people like me on the internet and people who have YouTube channels and stuff, and think they're constantly just always busy. And a lot of times, yeah, we are, but a lot of other times we're just sitting there. So like when that notification came through on Facebook, I'm just sitting there on my phone. All right, I'm going to reply to it right now.
Sure. Yeah. We had a couple, three of them. People actually, replied to them. So it was cool.
Is your live streaming podcast, is that all you do?
No. So my channel, when people ask what I do for a living, I do still say just YouTube, because the part-time job that I do have is YouTube. It's just not for me.
Oh, okay.
So you do like content creation for somebody or a company or something?
Yeah, there's a small farm tractor manufacturer locally here that does a lot of video stuff. We post a video every week on that channel, and so I'll go with them on video shoots, or I'll go into the shop and we'll film videos, and I'd help with them on ads stuff and marketing and basically their whole media side. But the main thing I do is film and edit and post their YouTube videos.
Oh, that's nice. Cool. Like it.
I love it. It never feels like a job.
Well, that's awesome.
You're winning.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. You just took first place.
Well, I realized something recently. You know how when people ask like how things are, and the go-to thing for people to say is living the dream.
Yeah.
And that means like, oh, I hate my life. I realize what I'm going to start saying is living a dream. Well, not living the dream. I'm living a dream, because it's real. I'm living a dream right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's awesome. You found something you enjoy doing, and it's that old, everybody says, find a job you love and you won't work a day in your life, right?
Yep. But there is something to say about burnout and doing too much and putting too much pressure on yourself, because I fully got burnout at the end of last year. I went from, because I posted every single day on YouTube for like 5 or more years.
Jesus, dude.
I only missed a couple days ever. And and with the amount of travel and events that I was covering last year, I just got to a point where I was like, I don't even want to do this right now. And so there was a couple things that led to me like changing up a little bit of how I do things, but I switched to posting every other day, and that's been the main thing. And I switched to posting every other day and putting more time into the videos that I am posting, and totally switched up a little bit of like my strategy with certain things. So what you're looking at right there on my channel is a little bit of what I'm talking about, and that like there's less of just a video that exists for the sake of a video existing, where I go to the skate park and it's just the exact same thing that it was last time I was at the skate park. And it's more purpose-driven things where I realized that telling other people's stories is a valuable thing that people love and people engage in. And I don't necessarily need to just go film a video at the skate park because I post every single day.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of we enjoy is getting to know the guest and hear their story. And, you know, we try to make this feel like we're just sitting in a room having a general conversation, BMX related for the most part. I mean, once in a while we end up in a rabbit hole that has nothing to do with BMX, but
you're doing a good job. I'm enjoying it.
We did about a half hour, 45 minutes on Prince one time.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Can I say? And the guest was a fan.
Yep.
So
that's all right.
Well, like, okay, so let's. Do you do anything outside of BMX at all?
As far as
do you have any hobbies that you like to do? I don't. I saw some of your pictures. It looks like you bow hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been an outdoorsman since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I don't get to go fishing as much as I would love to, just because that's the season for BMX, and it's really hard to get away whenever it's nice out and I want to go ride.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been an outdoorsman my whole life, so hunting, fishing, all of it.
You rifle hunt at all?
Yeah, those became legal here in Ohio in the last decade or so. Straight wall cartridge, and I mean, it's my like backup plan. I bow hunt all of like November and into December, trying to make something happen so I don't have to go out in the cold gun hunting. But I do if I have to.
Yeah,
and I had to this year.
Yeah. You crossbow or?
No, I'm a compound.
Compound. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of rifle.
It's a Ruger Bushmaster 450.
Oh, goddamn! All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cheat code, man. It's not even like I grew up hunting with a shotgun my whole life.
Yeah.
Open sights, shotgun. So like, it's just like
a lot easier.
Yeah, it's what you do whenever you're trying to fill the freezer.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, shit. When I hunted coyotes, but before I moved down here, yeah, I mean, shit, dude, you get a red dot magnifier, lights, like the goddamn like accessories you can bolt on a rifle now. Like, pretty much, it is a video game.
It's like a freaking mission in Call of Duty going out trying to get coyotes.
Well, I got so like you were saying how you can just get sucked into something, dude. Like, did I ever get sucked into that? Because it was a really cold winter and they were coming up, you know, because they had pretty much depleted all their food sources and they're getting pretty wild, coming right up to homes and stuff. And my little brother's house, he lived right by the edge of the woods and had no idea. I just sat on his porch and just sat there with my night light and just waited and crack them off.
And for people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe anyone would do that right now. What you guys got to realize is that coyotes are one of the biggest nuisance. If you love deer, coyotes are out there getting deer every day. Yeah. And they're the biggest killers of like fawns and things. And they're they're a huge like strain on the deer populations. So
and when their food sources get depleted, you know, deer, even the smaller stuff they eat, when that gets depleted because of cold, they die off because it's cold or however they eat it. They start going after dogs and little kids and whatnot. So
and they're brave.
They'll come right like
They don't care. They really don't care, and they'll get your dog.
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
little snack morsel.
Yeah, because and you got a little 4-foot fence around your backyard. That is no problem for them.
It's no different than your dog jumping it.
Yeah, they will be on that in 2 seconds.
So I'm a big fan of carrying an AK-47 anywhere I go. Just in case a coyote.
Just in case you cross
Just
paths.
in case a coyote jumps out.
Clip it, run it, post it. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah.
It's,
we're into all that stuff. We're in Michigan, so we're into that whole hunting, fishing deal. Shoot.
You don't graduate high school until you pull in and you got a field dress deer in the back of your pickup.
That's northern Michigan.
No, it ain't, dude. That's where I was at.
It's funny. Well, I mean, that makes sense. You go out before school.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm gonna take some days off for hunting. They're like, what? You just go out before school starts. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, my daughter works at a sporting goods store in northern Michigan, and opening day of deer season, the store is closed.
Hell yeah.
It is like a national holiday up there.
Schools are closed here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's wild. You know, she loves it.
I literally had deer tacos for dinner tonight.
God damn it, I miss that.
It's like, one, it's so much cheaper than getting beef.
Oh, it's so much better for you.
Absolutely. It's like to put it into perspective, I paid $117 for 50 something pounds of deer, like ground deer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
to have them process it and cut it, and everything for you, for people that don't know what we're talking about.
And that's literally 2 pounds, maybe a little bit more than $2 per pound. And imagine when you go to the store and you buy your beef.
No. Well, let alone what the beef's filled with. When you're buying, you're doing the venison, and like, one, it's not filled with fat. It's good. It's lean. And when you're cooking it, it literally takes anything you're seasoning it with. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we don't want to make people tune out because we're talking about deer hunting.
Well, shoot, we might have people trying. Hey, if you got a deer, put it in the chat.
Send a picture.
Yeah,
want to see it.
Yeah.
Let's actually, I'll jump in the chat real quick.
BMX Rocks photography chat check-in.
For sure, man. We were talking earlier. The chat question for the evening was, what's your favorite indoor bike park to ride? So got some people chiming off in there. A lot of rays, kind of almost a unanimous sweep until you start getting out west, and I can tell like, oh, that person is not from the Midwest area,
right?
So I got some people saying hi. The guys over at the Beer Budget BMX show out west, one of our brother shows here,
son.
They're hanging out.
Hit me up. Let's do a podcast.
Oh, they're fun times, buddy. We'll have them here in September. We'll try to link up with you. We were here. They were out here for the Waterford Oaks National, man, and we did some shows, man, and it was a barn burner here. Our friend Dave D'Artonia from the bike shop in New York,
DB Sports World,
DB Sports World, Bomb Squad Racing. Thanks for joining us this evening. Our friend Nick Quinn from Motor City Harley-Davidson. He wanted to know if you've got the inside scoop by any chance if S&M is going to be dropping a new race frame anytime soon.
Man. I would say if I knew, but I actually don't know if they are or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would they change on their current one that would make it?
There isn't really much. You could maybe go to an oversized head tube, which kind of don't
disc brake hookup.
Yeah, because
that could be
a move. Because isn't he doing that on his 20? He did that on the 22, right?
He did that on the Mad Dog. A couple versions of them, yeah. So that could be a possibility.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think with them, it would be a thing of like, if there is a desire from the people, enough of it, they're going to do it. So if people want that, make your voice heard and they'll do it.
Yeah. It's a tough one because, really buying S&M for disc brakes. just they're, S&M, they're just standards. There you go. You got our friend Bunky Eckenstein. He's just saying how he can't wait to get to race. He just moved out here in Connecticut from California. Well, let us know when you're going, Bunky.
Yeah,
man,
we need to make a weekend trip out there, don't we, dude?
Yeah,
let me know.
For sure. Our friend Noah Robinson saying hi, saying hello to you, Brant, and Nicholas Shane jumping in. Old Fat Guy BMX. He says he is here to shill and shill
Let's
hard.
go.
Thank you for joining us.
Chill.
Thanks for joining
What's
us.
his name? Old Fat Guy BMX.
Old Fat Guy BMX. Yeah.
Love it.
So if you guys haven't seen his channel, he doesn't post as much as he used to, but he posted at kind of right around the time I was starting, where he was an old fat guy relearning how to ride BMX, and he was going around to all these different events, riding, interviewing people. He did a really good job. His stuff was good.
All right, go check that out,
I'm
guys.
pulling it up right now. We're going to plug in here for him and get it
Sure.
on the screen. Let me just make sure I got the right channel. Yeah, there's his channel. I can only do so many things at a time here. Dennis Ybarra, thanks for joining us. OG, he did a triple sweep down in Virginia, 71 years young.
Yeah,
Still killing it.
first
racing.
place all 3 days,
All
Friday
3
to Saturday,
days,
Sunday.
son. Dennis is that fucking machine. Let me tell you right now. Robert Cardoza, he starred in this little movie called E.T. is joining us right now. He says hello.
Robert.
Oh, I remember him being in my chat a couple times.
He's in everyone's
He's
chat.
everywhere, man.
He's in everyone's chats, and watch out, he'll be in your girls' DMs, but his wife keeps a good eye on him. We got the Shovel Man Repair. Thank you for joining us. Crossovers. We didn't even know we needed it, he said. I got Gatenines joining us. They're Ohio. They're out of
they're in Akron.
they're out of Akron. There, Gatenine number plates are joining us. And let's
Best
see who
number
else.
plate in the game.
Yeah, let's see who else we got joining us. Ben Powell joining us. Thanks for joining, Ben. Appreciate it. You guys got questions? Put them in there. Stony McGee from Ray. Oh, geez, I'm going to fuck that last.
Stony McGee is old fat guy BMX.
There we go.
Oh, same dude. Okay.
So we got, I did pull it up here, and I got his channel. So
There it is.
There you go.
OFG.
I'll get the, I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, go check that out, guys.
Yeah, Mike Miranda just joined us.
When we're done. Don't go
Mike
there.
Miranda.
Hollywood.
Hello,
Yeah. He sent us the official invite, Chris.
Oh, boy.
It's a Dirty Fest.
Sweet.
He did. He
We
sent
got
it.
to go,
Yeah.
man.
Yep. Good stuff. Oh, yeah. So our friend Dave Diartona and his son Mando saw you at Ray's the other week. They were down there celebrating Mando's birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, man. If you guys have got questions, you got more comments you want us to share, go ahead. We're going to get this link for this guy's, the old fat guy BMX. Now I got more shit to watch. All right. I love it. That's why we love this show.
If you got
Maybe
questions,
this
get
will.
them in the chat if you got questions.
Coming in at the buzzer here,
Oh.
our good friend from Down Under, from Australia, is joining us this evening.
Oh.
We appreciate it. Always fun.
Thursday morning, like we like to say.
Yeah, Matt Boshin joining us down here.
Hey, Matt.
Time traveling.
What's up, Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My street name is Large Ray, says Ray. Fucking, I like it already. Josh,
Ray in here?
Yep, he said, yep, Ray's in here. Yep.
What's up, Ray?
Yeah. And then Josh Olson from, he's from Greenville, where the indoor track used to be that we were talking about. Well, you guys, thanks again. Really appreciate y'all for joining us this evening. Again, you got questions for our guest. Let's get them in there. Let's get them on here.
Let's talk.
Good stuff. So in your time riding, you kind of mentioned that you had that mid-2000s that when you had started, you remember. What's one of the things you still enjoy from that time frame of BMX?
Just in general,
Yeah.
the skate park that I grew up riding, like that's still there exactly the way it was to this day. I have all of Ray's at my disposal, but if it's warm enough out, I'm riding at that local skate park.
Which one's
over
that?
anywhere else. It's called Worcester Skate Park. It's in all of my Lip Lords videos. If you've ever seen that
Is that
video
in
series.
Worcester, Ohio?
I just
Yeah.
watched.
Obviously,
one. Yeah.
Worcester. There's no
Yeah, the part 4,
Yeah.
14 was uploaded last week. It's the far right video.
This
there.
one.
Yeah, it's a video series. I had an idea in 2013 to where we would just make a video on this one ramp doing only lip tricks, no air tricks, just lip tricks on this singular ramp at our skate park. And little did I know it would blow up.
Oh, these are fun. Love watching these.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me because we made the first 2 before posting any of them, and I had them both edited.
Uh-huh.
And so I posted part 1 and said, if this gets 100 views in the first day, I'll post part 2 tomorrow. And then both of them ended up getting like thousands of views. And then part 3 got like 15,000 views. And every single one up to like a certain point after that was just getting like 10,000 views of video. And it was crazy because it was just a prefab skate park in a random small town in Ohio with people only riding this one ramp doing a certain style of trick.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like Justin said, you can just sit here and watch this and just keep going. Cool. Wow. Sweet. You know, every single one of them. It's cool.
Good music too. I just can't do the music or we're gonna get dinged.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Macho.
Yeah, but these are fun. Got a couple questions that have popped in as we're watching this. Are you a Buckeye fan?
Sports.
I like the answer. Oh yeah, sorry, Sean. Big shout out to Sean Gifford from Die Job Apparel. I'll get you a plug. I'll get you a double plug later, as we call it, shill. I'll get the shill later for you.
Yeah, shill. Do we get the shill necklace out?
The shill. What?
Yes, I like it. Did you ride with Dosh, Brandon Dosh, at all ever?
Yeah, he came up to our trail jam this past summer.
Very cool.
And then got to ride with him a couple of
actually,
places.
I think he lives in Ohio now.
Yeah, he's Dayton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good kid, man.
It's a legend here in the Michigan.
Well, from Michigan.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
And the nicest person.
You ever have you made it over to Rudolph pump track over there?
I don't even know what that is.
So Ohio,
Rudolph, Ohio, isn't it?
Yeah, Rudolph, Ohio, the east of you. For a while, it's like the largest pump track in the country. It's a fun one.
Yeah, interesting.
I know they were going to be adding dirt jumps like to the back side of it. I don't know how far they got. I didn't get a chance to get out there actually last year. Yeah. So great question coming in the chat right here for you. What are your thoughts on the resurrection of Huffy?
Oh, who asked that? Was it Huck Karinsky?
No, it wasn't Huck. Actually,
It wasn't Huck.
No, it's that's actually from Nick Quinn, and it's Bowling Green is where Rudolph is next to. But
nice.
So Nick, he's the general manager at Motor City Harley-Davidson. There's your plug. Get down there for the WTF sale. He asked,
Damn, how do I get sponsored by Harley-Davidson?
I can send you some sunglasses and a box of stuff. Don't worry, Nick will hit you up. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Nick Quinn, Motor City Harley-Davidson.
He sponsors Beer Budget and us, man.
Farmington Hills, Michigan.
He hits us. He gives us a box of swag so we can give it away and be cool. Give away all kinds of fun stuff, man.
So, in regards to Huffy, this is why I have the opinion that I do, and I think it's a great thing.
There we go.
That they're the Huck Karinsky sticker.
There we go.
Yeah, man.
Huck.
So I did a full podcast with 4 of the members of the Huffy team that are in charge of the freestyle program as they were bringing it back. And through the podcast and everything we talked about and the transparency and everything that they were willing to talk about. I mean, they were an open book short of talking about specific numbers, like dollar value numbers.
Yeah.
There was no like, I don't want to talk about this. We can't talk about that, whatever. And the fact that they're coming back into BMX and putting so much into it at a time where the rest of the industry is saying how bad it's struggling. And they're doing it in a very calculated way where like you can't even get the aftermarket frame yet. They're like, if they were doing this just trying to come in and make a bunch of money, they would have rushed out these products as fast as humanly possible to sell as many as they can, as fast as they can. And the fact that they're going through several rounds of sample frames and letting all these different people ride them before they're even going to sell them, it's like that in itself kind of shows a little bit of the intent behind it in my eyes.
Yeah, because we noticed on the race side, they've had one of the female pros, Carly Kane. They've been sponsoring her for over a year now, and they don't even have a race frame yet.
Right.
You know,
So they're
it's
just supporting BMX riders right now, which that's pretty awesome to be just supporting riders without even selling anything yet.
Yeah. Well, technically the frame's out now, I believe.
Oh,
It
okay.
is?
At least their riders are on the frames now.
Yeah.
Harley's on it, and I think Nick Long's riding it now. So, but I don't know that I don't know they're out there for the general public to get their hands on just yet. But it's got to be coming.
Right.
Well, that again to Brent's point, that like that shows you like their intent, as you said, is genuine, because they could have easily went over. We all know, especially on the race side, it's pretty easy to dial up the guy and get some frames. Like you can, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like what they're doing myself, man. It's it's good. It's a breath of fresh air, and them putting Nick at point, Nick Long as the guy. He's running the freestyle and the BMX. Dude, he is
BMX.
He
man.
is, yeah.
I don't know how else you say that. I mean,
it's good stuff.
He is. Nick Long is good for BMX.
But then with Nick, Bruce, like everybody they've picked, Huck and everybody, like great spokespeople for the sport. Just when I met Huck's dad down at Ray's, it's like I knew him for my whole life already, and I see Huck go by and I'm like, that's Huck. And then I get chatting with his dad, talk to him. And I'm like, that's the people they have lined up. Like that's a great move by them.
Yeah. And I can't give enough thanks and shout outs to Huck's dad, because that dude has shifted my perspective towards a more business oriented mindset in a way that never would have happened on its own. That's helped me to elevate myself and what I'm doing in ways that I genuinely would have never, or at least it would have taken decades to get to on my own.
Gives you a little different perspective.
Good dude there. What about, so I want to switch the question from Huffy. How about your sponsor there, S&M, in keeping everything rolling when it seems like a lot of other companies are downsizing or downscaling, and they're just plugging away doing what S&M does?
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably just comes from longevity in BMX and being through this before. And S&M is such a staple in BMX that, like, you go somewhere and you're going to see multiple people riding an S&M frame. It's just a given. At Ray's, there's so many people who have them, and they're just so well respected in BMX that I feel like no matter how much BMX as an industry is struggling, people are still going to want S&Ms and they're going to buy them. And I think they're doing the right moves in paying attention to what people want and not trying to force out like just what they want to do or what they think people want. It's like, okay, people are asking, like, Chris makes these Mad Dog frames and everybody loves them, so we're going to do more. Oh, you want a 22? All right, we're going to do a 22 version. Oh, you guys are talking about dirt jumper frames? All right, let's start developing a dirt jumper frame. And now that's going to be coming this year. So I think they just have their fingers on the pulse of BMX and are so synonymous with BMX as a whole that I think they're just okay.
Yeah. The other thing with S&M is bars. Handlebars are, I would say the majority of your racers are running S&M bars.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. Oh. Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies that have S&M make their bars.
That's
like Nowhere, the bars I ride. I have a fresh set of bars that I need to put on right now that were made by S&M in a new run where he's having them make them. And there's other companies I know that are, I think Bill said in my podcast with him that he has S&M make all his bars.
I think he said that on the first show too.
So, yeah.
Yeah. When he was, they've been around, they know what they're doing, and they're the go-to. And like you said, we were talking about this with Bill, there's not many places or companies that have been around as long as an S&M and Supercross,
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, they've rode this out before. They've seen this, perception of it being
the highs and the lows.
Yeah. And again, like you were saying earlier, those that are doing it right now, it's still as cool as it's ever been. It's still as big as it's ever been to them. I think that outer fringe of, companies that have popped up and, this and that, yeah, they might be affected, but the core brands, it's not going to affect them at all.
Yeah, and things might slow down, and I think that we're in a time where both riders and companies are going to have to start figuring out what actually works and rely less on what they really just want to do in terms of marketing and videos and things like that. Because I don't know how racing is, but I've learned recently and through all my conversations in freestyle side that like almost all, if not all of the marketing that happens in freestyle BMX is marketing towards people who already have BMX bikes and ride BMX. And we're at a time where like things are struggling. And so you're going to have to figure out how to get new people. We have all this overabundance of BMX bikes and you're only marketing to people who already have them. Well, then naturally you're going to struggle to sell BMX bikes even more than you would if you'd been marketing to the outside.
That's true, because you have, let's just pick a number. You have 500 people, and they already have BMX bikes. So you're marketing to that same 500 people. I'm just using
it's the carbon fiber bike parts. You got carbon fiber. Another guy brings it out. Well, who are you selling it to? The person that already has carbon fiber parts.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to find a way to get a new customer out of it.
All you're doing is moving the 500 people from brand A to brand B.
Yeah.
You're not bringing new people, like another 300 people, into brand A, B, C, and D. You're just poking around at the same 500 people.
And, that's where Mongoose, when they popped back in here, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That they did a good job with that. Now, again, I can't speak to the side like that lends itself to you with the freestyle side, but like on the racing side, they rolled out and had like a complete, nice, good race bike ready to go for $229. Or I'm sorry, $329, and then they had the other one that was like $289 or something. Both or something like that. They were both really good bikes.
For the money, they were great bikes.
And you couldn't, again, that was getting new bodies in because it was affordable. But you're right, like the marketing side of it's a different thing than the price point, right? So that barrier to entry is easy to hurdle because you can figure out a way to make, like with a Mongoose, they're owned by a conglomerate, so they can do runs and get the price down. But the marketing part, how are we getting new riders in? It doesn't matter what it is, racing or freestyle. Again, like you said, the marketing's done towards those that are in the sport right now. What have you seen on your side that if you have saw anything that has worked?
Honestly, that's why I like hesitate and say like all marketing, if not all, because I've said it for months and maybe even years at this point. Like, why are there no BMX freestyle companies doing YouTube video ads on YouTube through Google? Because it's like it's a cheat code right now where all BMX edits are using music. Whatever percentage of that is copyrighted music, which immediately, if it's allowed on YouTube and it's copyrighted, means it's either a revenue share or the owner of the rights is taking that revenue. So that means there's ads on this out the gate. If I was a BMX company, why would I not go through Google Ads, make a YouTube ad that shows up on anything BMX related, so that when brand A comes out with an edit with copyrighted music that has an ad show up in front of it, it's my company's ad in front of their video because they used copyright music and had ads on it.
Brilliant.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And it's like those types of things, like they're just, and I get why it doesn't happen, is because people are so busy trying to keep companies going at all.
Mm-hmm.
But there are easy steps to be taken. And I talked about all of this stuff on my channel recently, just trying to figure out how to help BMX as a whole. And I think the thing that you were cluing into with Mongoose, talking about the bike, the affordable bike, is a huge one that BMX as a whole just has never really been fully on board with and hasn't accepted. And I think it should just, BMX as a whole should completely reassess this, in that, like, if more companies could make a kid's first bike a bike from that company and then give them an upgrade path.
Yeah.
Like there's how 90% of them that's never going to want an actual BMX bike. But if you have an upgrade path from that, where it's the whatever level of complete for whatever price point, and then the next one is, and you can go from there, it's like you're going to capture so many more people that don't even exist within the BMX ecosystem already through that. And it's something that if you propose that to a core company, they're going to laugh you out of wherever you're telling them at, because, oh my God, why would I do that? And it would make me look bad to people who don't even buy my shit already.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a message recently that just makes so much sense. It's like, I'd have to pull it back up, but it was along the lines of, why would I care how I look? Like, imagine being so core that you go out of business because you're afraid of how you might look to people who don't spend money anyways.
That's that's solid. That is solid. Yeah. Yeah, that one takes a second to set in.
Yeah, you're trying to,
But it's real. And
it is so true.
Huffy and Mongoose are going to be the two companies, because Huffy already has those super base level bikes, and now they're going to be introducing a higher level bike where they're going to be able to take their marketing, because they're a larger company that exists outside of BMX. They're going to take their marketing with people like Nick Bruce and Huck and Jacob Thiem, and they're going to use that advertising in the stores where Huffies are sold or online in advertising, because they know how to reach people who don't ride, because that's not, people who ride aren't who they're trying to reach. And they're going to sell these bikes to kids that get excited seeing these people like Huck and Jacob and Nick Bruce. And then there's this upgrade path where, oh, you bought the Walmart bike because you're just riding around in your driveway. Oh, well, you see our rider. Now we have this other up level bike, and it's still the same brand name you already know.
Yeah. No, it's
do car companies do this? You get like
to a certain extent.
You get an Equinox, and then you get a Traverse, and then a Terrain, and then you get the Acadia, then an Escalade, and the Suburban.
Right, because each one you kind of climbing that ladder. You're at this price range, and then for another few,
you grow with it.
Yeah,
grow with the brand.
A few more grand, you get this. A few more grand, you get that, and it just keeps climbing.
So that's a great analogy on. You got like Huffy and Mongoose doing it. Where would a company like a freestyle company out there? I can think of a few that have price points that are the barrier to entry is lower, and they do have the complete bikes you can grow with. What are they missing? So there's companies out there that have a $300, $400 price point, and then you can get up to $1,000 on a complete. Where are they missing?
Be talking lower than that.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, because bike shops are already selling bikes in the $300 to $400 range. I think for what I'm talking about, it has to be at the level where it could be a kid's first bike ever.
Gotcha. Okay.
And nobody's buying a $500, $400, even maybe $300 bike for a kid. And it's a 20-inch. Maybe it's a smaller one from this company, but like, how many people are going to a bike shop to buy a kid's first bike?
It's tiny percentage, if any.
Yeah. So I also think, and maybe racing is similar to this, I have to ask you guys, when it comes to random race company who sells complete race bikes, how many different models of complete race bikes do companies usually have?
You're gonna vary from like you could have 5 to like a company with a that has like the
When you say 5, what do you, are you talking about sizes, or are we talking about like
Individual bikes is what I'm asking about. How many like you go down this many different SKUs because it's these different sizes at this different price level.
You're gonna have 5 to. I mean, some of the other companies that are making these like I call them like boutique sizes that you could get up to like 15. So like a Chase.
Yeah, that actually Chase would probably be a good one to use because they have their Edge brand, and then they have their, I'm drawing a blank.
He's talking sizes though, so you could have an Edge in
the
like
Edge,
multiple.
they have like a junior, what is it? Junior XL, expert XL, and then they have like Pro XL, Pro Triple.
I'm going to pull them up so you can see.
I mean, they range in all these different sizes. Like there.
So there you go.
Is that the Element?
Yeah.
Element.
So I guess race would be different than even considering freestyle wise, because with race, the size of bike is kind of more relative, and the geometry of the bike is relative to the size of the person.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in freestyle, it's more of, it's in regard to the size of the person, but also the geometry of the bike is relative to the type of riding that it's meant for, whether it's street or trails or skate park or a more generic geometry. So in my perspective, and I've yet to make the video about this, I've needed to for months now, I think companies should be offering way less complete bikes, because you can see there, Fit has so many complete bikes. And then you look at like all these other companies that sometimes they brag about how many different complete bikes they offer, where instead of trying to make a bike for every single person who might want a complete bike, maybe it should be you make a more generic bike that fits people of different sizes at different quality levels, and then you sell it as this upgrade path where if you buy the lowest level bike, just know you're going to have to upgrade parts on it if you actually do use it to ride BMX. If you buy the medium level, you're going to be buying this bike realizing that in a year or 6 months, you're going to figure out what you like to do in terms of riding. And then you buy the specific geometry that goes with that. Instead of selling someone a bike that, okay, now they're done until they break apart or wear something out and need to buy something new. It's like, no, sell a generic thing that just works, and then they figure out what they need to upgrade to, and then you offer and you sell the upgrade to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, back in the day, you had one bike and you rode freestyle and raced with it and dirt jumps and all that. It was all one bike. Now we're getting into specifics where you have a park bike, you have a street bike, you have a flatland bike, you have a race bike, a dirt jumper. It's all been spec'd down to very specific usage of the bike. It's not one general bike to cover it all anymore.
That's what I like. What you were saying is the generic. Then you tailor it with your add-ons. It's funny. I've been shopping myself for a non-race bike, and I literally get lost in what I'm like. I know what I want. I want that, let's just call it the generic all-around kind of the trail, park, whatever, street thing, right?
Yep.
And I get lost in like all the options of them because I'm not looking to build one. I want a good one to buy that I can start riding. And look, I know I'm probably going to upgrade this and upgrade that down the road, like you're saying. And, I've looked and been lost in it. And
Well, so now imagine that you're a bike shop owner or salesman
Jesus,
on
dude.
a bike shop floor, and you've got
Yes.
10 different BMX bikes here, and a family walks in and they're like, I'd like to get a 20-inch BMX bike for my kid. What do you think we should get? And now you're trying to explain to this family, well, this one is good for street riding because it's got a short rear end and it comes with this and that. And this one is good for trails and whatever. It's like this family more than likely doesn't care. And yeah, maybe there are kids who do know, like, oh, maybe I do want to ride street. But I think more often than not, it would make it easier for a bike shop to not only carry your stuff because you have a very obvious and easy method for them to sell it by, because it's just down to size and quality at that point, than, oh, now I have 30 things to pick from and I don't even know what to order. I'm just going to order what you have on sale right now. And there's something to be said about colors and kids just caring about colors.
Yeah. I want a blue one. I don't care. I want blue. Yeah. Little kids are like that. Sure. Yeah.
Yes. It's a tough one. And I think that would help.
Yeah. In to the bike shop side of it, what you were just saying, they can't carry all those bikes because they're, I mean, let's be honest. BMX is a small piece of the bike world.
Yep.
So you go to a bike shop, it's mountain bikes. It's 24-inch, road bikes, mountain bikes, dirt jump, maybe. I mean, I went to a couple of bike shops back October. Well, no, about a year ago now. I needed a spacer to go in my bottom bracket, and I went to 4 different bike shops, and asked them about it, and they go, oh yeah, we should have something like that. And they go, what's it in? And I said, a BMX race bike. And they looked at me like, I mean, a couple of the shops were, I felt like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You don't belong. Go away. Now I did, of the 4, 2 of them actually went in the back, dug around and tried to find something. One of them actually found something, and he says, I don't know if this is going to work for you, but here you go. And he just gave it to me. I said, what do I owe you? He said, nothing, just take it. And I went, thank you. It ended up not working for what I needed because it wasn't it was very specific. But, I tried. But, yeah, so I guess that was kind of a little rant there. But what I'm getting at is your local bike shop, 9 times out of 10, you want something BMX, their answer is, I can order that for you.
Right.
It's not, oh, we have that. Now, we're fortunate here in Michigan. We've got 2 shops I know of that actually stock, Albies is a BMX shop, and Magic Motorsports is a BMX shop. All they carry is BMX stuff. It's a motorcycle shop, but they have an entire section that is BMX, mostly race. It's like 5 minutes from Waterford Oaks. So, that's kind of their niche thing. And they have completes, they have parts. I mean, you
but
could build
in fairness
out
to what he's saying, though,
yeah,
Magic is not a bike shop. Magic is a motorsports. They sell zero turns, and they sell tractors, and they sell motorcycles and dirt bikes. So, like, a bike shop, to what you're saying, like, that's a lot. And even the money that you're going to tie up and even trying it, most of the bike shops don't have. And then to have, like what you're saying, like all these options when you just need this one. And I think what you were using that example of the, family coming in. I think like, people reaching out, this happens a lot it happens in all the biking. You did bike riding in maybe up to your 20s, right? And then you want to come back 10 years later after your kids are starting to get a little old enough to ride, and they'll reach out to you because you're still involved in the sport. They'll be like, what should I get? That's when it always hits me like, I don't even know. Like, it's gotten so, again, to your point, it's gotten so tailored down. I don't even know where to go and be like, here's where you start. Like, this would be a good start for what you want to do. I think that's where like Huffy and Mongoose are going to do a really good job, or Mongoose has done a good job with it, and Huffy's going to do a really, really good job because that's what they're doing. Like everybody, what's their tagline right now? Huffy's everybody's first bike's a Huffy or something. And now you can just grow with them. And I mean, they've got the people riding for them that can show that the bikes can do it. We do have a couple on a different topic. If you're good, I do have a couple questions that popped in. If you're
can I finish? Can I wrap that?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Go ahead.
So then to finalize that point too, like if imagine you're the bike shop owner and salesperson, and like, what are you going to want to sell more of? The bike that the company that lays it out super easy. So you're like, okay, I just worry about the size for the kid and that's it. Literally just the size for the kid and the quality level that they want. Or I want the random whatever, and I don't know what any of these things mean except for the price point and the color of the bike. So that kind of wraps it up, I think.
I mean, you're going to have, you got that coming to you, like you're saying, the company that's bringing just the simple solution. That's who you're going to want to do business with. Because imagine like all you're doing as a bike shop owner, and like you talk to a lot of these people, and you even talk to the people in front of them that are trying to sell that to them. The easier way, like you make it easy for a bike shop owner, they're going to appreciate that, and that's what they're going to move. And that hurts when you start getting like a company that companies that have that expanded portfolio of SKUs, like it's hard to stock their stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've had it several times. I know you do too, where you're at the track and there's a new family and the parents are, so where do we get one of these bikes? Well,
8 different places on the internet because all my parts came from different places.
Right. How do you answer that? And then I tell them, don't go out and buy a super expensive bike because you're here. It's practice night at the BMX track and you're doing this the first time and your kid loves it. Okay. Don't go out and spend a fortune on a bike. Get one of these, Mongoose Huffy bikes. That's an entry level bike. Make sure your kid's going to enjoy it before you start buying this high-end, expensive, and then they look at like our bikes and go, well, how much money you got in that bike?
Your bike.
I'm
still branded Mongoose, dude. I'm riding that shit. It fell apart. I rode those frames until
you ran those babies to the ground.
Ain't nothing special. You got that carbon fiber shit.
Well, yeah.
Got a question here. Okay. These are kind of these are coming in pretty fast, so forgive me, they're kind of all over the place, but
rapid fire, let's go.
Yeah, well, I like to try to make sure we're getting get everyone's questions in here. All right.
Yeah.
One we got here is, who's the most interesting person you have interviewed?
Oh man, I have to go back to, I always say that Matt Copeland at Profile is the most cultured person that I've ever met and talked to in my entire life. Mm-hmm. So I've done a couple podcasts with him. It's probably Matt.
I met him at one of the state. It was at a skate park at Tampa, and it was a 7-10 minute conversation, and I got that right from him. Like, holy cow. Very nice guy. So you have like with your channel, you have the super chat, right? So you got so many subscribers, you can have the super chat. How crazy is that when you're doing your show? Like the when the super chat's on your YouTube channel?
It recently has been insane. So there, it's sporadic here and there. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, it would just happen randomly here and there. And it was amazing. And YouTube just introduced a feature where you can set like a goal for super chats. And I just like popped it on because like, well, I'm using this YouTube feature. And I think that, and then when people see support and realize that they can do that, it makes them more inclined to, and it has been insane recently. It like starts and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm talking about one and I go back to talking about the news and another one comes in. I'm just like, oh my, it's so overwhelmingly like amazing whenever it happens, because like these people, not only are they here on a Friday morning at between 10 and 11 a.m., but they're also willing to support me directly for what I'm doing, for whatever their reasoning is for it. It's like, man, that's amazing to me. And I really, really appreciate that. than that. Like if it's like oh man, it's working. All this effort and me trying to help BMX is like people appreciate it, and that's special.
You got Keggy13 is saying, he said the super chat is a fun way to distract Brant.
It really is, because I'll be honed in on something. Keggy's the guy who's been making my thumbnails, so he made the Anchorman thing, and
those are great. Nice.
Wait till you see Fridays.
Ooh man, there's a teaser.
There we go.
If you watched the news last week, there was a bit of a blunder with this jug here, and there's a thumbnail surrounding that. And anyways,
we'll check that out.
It really is. Because I can be super zoned in and focused talking about something, and then somebody will randomly throw in $20, and I'm like, whoa.
And I noticed one of them I was watching. I'll have a tendency of like binging a bunch, and then So, you are or were doing a get you to X Games.
Oh yeah, I had that in there as like I like to have some kind of thought for a goal like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to be more specific. I just kind of labeled it that because it was fun. But my program in OBS, you can only type so many characters before it just disappears, the little scrolling thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I reached that character limit when people went crazy with super chats, and I deleted it and forgot about it until you just brought it back up.
We use OBS also, so I know the struggle with it.
Yeah,
the struggle is real.
It's a solid program that can give you some of the worst headaches.
Yeah, it's amazing, but also not amazing at the same time. I would love to go to X Games. I've never been to an event like that. If there's somebody somewhere who has any kind of connections, I would absolutely love to go.
I got to go just as a spectator in 19 out in Minnesota, and I just say, wow. It was a bucket list that the guy that got me into bike riding and I did. We took his kid and nephew there for his birthday, and I was blown away. Like, I say it so many times as a repeat for so many people right now. Go, because it doesn't matter if you're a racer or you freestyled. If you throw your leg over a BMX bike at some point, you know about the X Games, and it is so worth going. It's kind of like when you ride at a skate park or you ride at a racetrack. Those athletes, when they're done, they're just wandering all over. I literally turned into a super fan when I saw Morgan Wade. I saw Morgan Wade. I barely could speak. I'm like, my buddy's like, hey, I was like, pitcher. Like, he's like, let's go talk to him, And I was like, dude, it's Morgan Wade. And we just hung out and talked with him and met his family, and it's wild. And all these athletes are all over the place in the towns. And they have so much going on outside. I was talking about they have a little city set up where they have skate parks and they have pump track there, and it's cool. And even though it's not a BMX thing, to see the motorbikes doing the tricks and the high air, dude, the quarter pipe, I think that's what or high air challenge. I forget they call it on dirt bikes. Holy shit. You're setting third level at a football stadium and they're eye level.
It's insane.
And then just the mega ramp. If you've never seen one in person, that is worth the trip alone. Holy cow, are them things. It's huge. It's massive.
And since X Games was sold to a different company, they have put even more focus into the spectator experience at X Games. And I didn't go. I didn't hear anything from it, but what I saw was their plans and layout for the actual grounds for where they were holding it, and they were putting on there there's going to be more access for water or whatever it was, where it was they were focusing on the people who were actually there, and they're bringing music back. That was the big example. This past one, they brought back music, and so it looks like they are starting to care a lot more. And so I think now would be a great time to go.
It sounds like they're doing more fan interaction.
When you go and you'll walk like, when they're back in the arenas, which is what we were told the other week with our guest that was on, that they're going back to that experience. That you walk in and like they build a skate park, concrete skate park for that event. 2 of them, the skateboard and the BMX, and they're there, and then they're gone. And then the whole rest of the place, they do the dirt jumping, and then the mega ramp sets there. But the dirt jumps turn into something to do with the motocross, and then the motocross jumps get plowed down, and they turn into a flat track. And that part's even pretty cool to see.
The logistics of it, how they
it's just
make it
you
all
leave,
happen.
you walk in, you're like, holy shit, this is BMX. Like, what? It's that big. It's really fun. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, we got to get you there and get you one of those media passes, dude, so you can get like everywhere.
That would be incredible.
So would you want to ride in it or just be a spectator and interview and that type of thing?
I would love to go to like get a clip on a course, but I wouldn't want to ride in it. I would just love to be there and like walk around using my phone to film and just capture whatever I capture of the event.
Just take it all in.
Yeah, cover it from the spectator, but also person who rides BMX perspective.
God,
yeah, that would be cool.
I got somebody that I'm gonna try to get him in contact with you. I think
I know a guy.
Well, maybe I don't know how much but I mean they had that pull back in the day, so we'll see what they can do. Man, this has flown by. I want to first, before we go any farther, because we got to do our trivia and talk about who's going to be on next week. Man, can we have you back on for Moto 2? Because this flew by, man.
Yeah, I was thinking we were going to schedule 3 and 4 too here.
Fuck it, let's go.
We'll do it
every 6 months. Every 6 months from here on out. Let's go.
Once a quarter.
All right, once a quarter.
Quarter even. Yeah,
that works for me.
This is a lot of fun. Just chit chatting and talking about BMX, man.
You want to let them know who's going to be on? We're going to go a little out of order real quick.
All right.
Let them know who's going to be on next week.
So, hey, next week, Bonnie Hutlin.
And her brother.
That's not what it says on my note here.
It says right there, her brother's name is in front of Bonnie. I see
it on the screen right now.
Okay,
dude.
John. Okay, John and Bonnie.
Did you just? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Brad.
So, next week, we have John and Bonnie Hutlin.
There you go.
Looks like racers. Looks like family here.
Yeah, brother and sister. They've been racing for years. Rode for huge factory teams, so we're gonna hear a lot of fun race stories. They're big in the vintage races right now, so like the Dirty Fest and the Frogtown stuff. So we're gonna hear some fun stories from them, and they're still racing. Man, I hung out with her when I was down working in Florida racing. They're all over the country racing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get a question?
Yes,
you did.
I have a couple of different ones.
Yeah, I was
So
so
I need to pick one.
in listening to what he had to say. Let's do this. We want to bring in our trivia this evening, and we want to thank our friends over at Dye Job Apparel for sponsoring our trivia each and every week. We got a great trivia pack for you guys. You just disconnected my.
What did I do?
There it goes. Hold on. Let me go back here. For sponsoring our. It's all right. It's like, what it is?
Broke it.
It's OBS. Thank our good friends at Dye Job Apparel, Sean Gifford, taking care of all your guys'. I mean, if you got custom apparel you want made, that's who you hit up. You want foam fingers? Dude does that. He can make. It's whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's bringing foam fingers for the whole shot race.
Sweet.
So we got our gift pack here that Chris is going to show you the fun stuff.
Try and do my best Melissa impersonation here. So we have these new buttons too. Check these out.
You got to hold it to the camera. They
BMX.
can't see
I had to turn it around so it was the right direction. So we have our All Things BMX Show big button here. Actually, there's one right there. See that? And we got stickers from everybody and their brother in here. We got Danger Snacks in here. We have chapstick from Motor City Harley-Davidson. We have sunglasses, Motor City Harley-Davidson. Drink koozie. Motor City's hooked us up with all kinds of good stuff here. We have Wrenchman Wheel Builders. What's this? Microfiber cloth. It's upside down.
You know what's nice with that? Is when you're working, you can lay that down and set your tools on it, set your parts on it.
And they clean your glasses really good.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So you get one of those. We have a Krupp and Carter t-shirt.
Fresh out of delivery today.
Yeah.
That delivery was here when I got home.
What do you call it? Hot off the press.
It was hot off something. It ain't nothing hot in Michigan right now.
No. And you can wrap it all up in your Motor City Harley-Davidson backpack right there.
There you go.
So, all right. Whoops. I just disconnected my headphone. Okay. So, let's see here. I got a couple different ones I can pick
Sorry,
from
you
here.
disconnected my Stream Deck a second ago.
Oh, sorry.
I'm back using my mouse.
It's working now, isn't it?
It's back on, yeah.
Thank goodness. Okay. I know that's a pain. All right. So let's look here real quick. I'm going to pick one of these I got written down here. All right. So there's a local bike shop that Brant works with and has gone to for years. And if you can tell me the name of that bike shop.
It's Elby's.
No. It's not.
That's a pretty far away local bike shop. Flip rules.
He does.
Yeah.
I've been working him for a minute to
You
get him
never
on the
called
show.
me.
I've been working him for a minute to get on.
Yeah. So if you know that bike shop,
Yeah.
Someone will get it.
put that first person in the chat that gets that. We will do that. And then again, if you want to join us next week, we'll have John and Bonnie Hutlin on.
They're old school, man. You guys can talk about all them old frames, the Cook Brothers stuff, and your Pattersons and whatnot.
Yeah, you can talk about the old GTs and red lines and all that
You'll
stuff.
be in heaven.
Yeah, it's always fun.
You should have saw Chris last week. Man, him and Bill got into it. They got into it, Brent. Man, I just had to kick.
Awesome.
I just had to kick back. I'm like, these guys. There was a foreign language going on within BMX that this dude didn't know.
Oh,
You guys started talking
Bill-
about the OG Barbarian frames and stuff.
yeah. So quickie, fast little thing. Bill Ryan from Supercross.
He was in the chat, by the way.
Was he? Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, Bill. Bill Ryan from Supercross has recently purchased the rights to the Torker
You gotta be careful where you go.
bike frame.
You had yours moment.
I know. I'm just real quick.
Okay.
Go back, check out last week's show if you want to learn about Torker and how that all came to be. And it's back now, and it's bigger than ever.
You're
And then
excited.
actually,
You're
Brant
excited.
had Bill on
It was
about 3-4 weeks ago.
right here?
Something like that, yeah.
And that's a really good interview as well. So guys, go check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, Brant's channel.
They probably already are with 82,000 people.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, if you like Brant's, you got to go like ours, man. Come on,
Yeah, you
help us
better.
out.
If you, the thumbs up brings more people in.
It does. Well, like Bill Ryan says, it helps the BMX algorithm. It gets more people to recognize and find out about BMX. The more we like, share, subscribe to all this BMX stuff, it jumps that algorithm. So we can mess with that. We can try and get more people to find our sport.
Yeah.
How many
Man, I
times?
feel
How
like-
often do you get out to ride out at the Nowhere park?
I'm out there once or twice a year. It's been twice a year for the past few because he had those two big events.
Oh yeah, the big competition. Didn't we?
We had Carl on.
Yes.
Yeah. God, the
April
place looks awesome.
April 12th, the middle of nowhere contest. $5,000 pro purse. It's a big.
Whoa.
It's $2,500 for first place.
Let's go. You think
it's
I got
an
a shot?
amazing time.
Dude, if you ride that carbon fiber bike there, that's worth the trip alone.
Hey, it's pretty
Dude,
tough.
I'll pay your entry fee. Like, fucking you roll out there, full face helmet, and your Supercross uniform on. Yeah, I'll pay for that one.
I can. Yeah, I'd be the only guy in the entire place that's got carbon fiber. Yeah, that ain't working.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like we talked for so long and covered like very little topics.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
That's fun. We didn't have to really have to rush through anything.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got deep into the the industry side. How are we going to get new riders in? That's some good stuff, man. They love, like, we love talking about that, because like growing the sport's key. And that's clutch, because like, hey man, new people tune into the show, your show, they find more out, they stay in racing, they go to freestyle brings racers in, it all feeds, and it's good stuff.
A lot do both, man.
Yeah. That's for a fact.
So is anybody?
We got a couple winners, but first I wanted to throw it over to Brant for any thanks and any shout outs. Then we'll come back and announce the winner, and then we'll button it up. All right. So I'm going to toss it over to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you to you guys for
thank you
tagging me in that Facebook post and bringing me on here. I haven't been on a ton of different podcasts, and I do a lot of talking on my own channel. So it's always fun whenever I get to talk to other people and I'm not in charge. So thank you to you guys. But thank you to anybody who's watching, who tunes in. If you're in the racing side or you've never seen my channel before, hopefully you enjoyed the chat. And obviously there's all of the people who support me regularly through watching my channel, supporting directly with the super chats and whatnot, and all of that. And then the companies that give me their support, Alienation, BMX, making, like, the fact that we're making brake parts all through I could talk for 20 more minutes about them. Carl at Nowhere, having my back for over 10 years at this point. S&M and Fit. I actually just posted yesterday. It was 2 years ago yesterday that we made the announcement about S&M and Fit. It's been awesome working with them on it, the supplement company. If I felt like I was quick and snappy, it's because I took my alpha brain at the beginning. And Jaywalkers pants, we already covered all of that at the beginning. Super comfy, just perfect for riding BMX, shadow riding gear, helmet, knee pads, shin guards. They're awesome. And worked with Park Tool for years now at this point. They provide me with the tools to make the videos that I do. It's just been super, super helpful. So if you guys missed the trivia thing, the bike shop that he was talking about locally that I worked with is Brimstone Bicycles in Canal Fulton, Ohio.
That's it.
What we have. And the first person that came in through our chat, which we pull in at where you guys are all watching, was, believe it or not, Sean Gifford.
Giffy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
we'll send that.
Congrats, Sean.
He makes a lot of the stuff that we put in that pack. So thank you,
Oh.
Sean.
Hey, we'll just have him come from Illinois and come on over here and pick it up.
He's going to be here the weekend of last weekend of September.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. And you said the discount at Jaywalker was BMX, right?
Correct.
There you go. I pulled them up so you guys know what the website looks like. The links we talked about during the show, when we post the podcast, they'll be in there in the notes. Then we're going to go back on YouTube, and we always update it with the notes where the links are in there. So you guys, anything we talked about, even the Old Fat Guy BMX, we'll have his link in there too. Make sure you check out his channel.
There we go.
And Friday, big things on the news. The thumbnail, going to be hot. 10 a.m.
Big jugs, baby.
Sweet.
And
you guys did an awesome job with this. This is super well organized, well put together. It makes me feel like I need to get my stuff together.
No,
you're doing great. Just flying by the seat of my pants in everything that I do.
No.
If you could hang out a second, and we're going to get on out of here, all right?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay,
yeah, hang on for just a
guys,
minute.
again, thank you so much, Chris.
Yes.
Great job tonight. Fun time.
Yeah, it was. Good time. Great hanging out with Brant. Make sure you guys go check him out, Brant Moore BMX on YouTube. Give him a like and a subscribe, and give us one too while you're at it. Next week, John and Bonnie Hutland will be on with us. Until then, have a great week, everybody. God bless you, and have a good night.